This is The Gorge. It's a podcast where my friend Sara and I gorge ourselves on what's happening in the world of video games and entertainment.
The Gorge is brought to you by Patreon. That's patreon.com/thegorge, where for just $5 a month you gain access to not one, but two entire podcasts. $5 gets you Takeout, a monthly commentary track where Ben and I decide we don't feel like putting in any work beyond just giving you our beautiful dulcet tones. So instead we watch something and talk over it. And $2, only $2 gets you That's Hell You're Walking Into, a monthly series where we always forget to record it until the very end of the goddamn month. We tell ourselves this is the month where we're gonna record at least That's Hell early in the month so that we don't have to do 2 whole episodes of Patreon content in a week. And we always forget. The point is that That's Hell You're Walking Into is a monthly series where Ben asks me questions about Fate Stay Night, Fate Grand Order, and the extended Nasiverse, and I do my damnedest to answer them. It usually comes out at the end of the month, I'm sorry.
As long as it's within the month, it's fine.
As long as it's within the month, it's fine. Or like the first 2 or 3 days of the next month if our scheduling was really bad.
Yeah.
Which happens sometimes. Sometimes that means you get 2 episodes. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So if you want to be part of one of the most poorly managed Patreons, probably on the website, head on over to patreon.com/thegorge. Kick in however much you can. It doesn't matter if it's $20 or $2, $10. It doesn't matter. We love you anyways because you help keep this podcast going. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you to Palm of Power, JT, Steel Condor, Nihar Bot, Red Lantern Reviews, Holy Star 64, Patrick Perez, Roddy 1/2, Saturn, Alice Marks, Shia, Magus, Jack, Liam Lane, and that other one dude.
Thank you all very much.
So yeah, it is the end of the month, which means, or not the end of the month. Well, yes, it is the end of the month. Never mind what I'm saying.
It is the end of the month.
Which means it's time for talking about what we've been doing.
In other words, it's time to talk more about Sara playing Final Fantasy XIV, you know.
Yeah.
At some point I'll play something else, but I didn't. So it's fine. Don't worry about it.
This is the first episode where you've just been done, right?
Well, I mean, 6.1
like
came out.
You're caught up.
Yeah. 6.1 came out, so like that is a plot thing, but I am officially I am pretty much done with all of the major content of Final Fantasy XIV. The only 2 like big things left to do, and there's a lot of like other little small things, of course, and little fun, interesting things. The 3 things I have left to do are I need to finish the trial series for Stormblood. I need to finish the raid series, the Alliance raid series from Heavensward. And I have to finish my Endwalker role quests. And after that, I will have done essentially all of the major content of Final Fantasy XIV. Which is insane. I only started January 31st of 2021. So, you know.
You say that, but you've been playing a game for now almost 5 months. Straight.
I've been playing the game for almost 5 months now. That is a good point. But, like, still, like, I've done a lot in those 5 months. I did not take it slow. I should have taken it slow. But what is there to say other than what would get said in, like, the podcast? 6.1 came out. If you're listening to this, then that means I've talked to you, you know. There's a significant listenership that has just listened to me talk about 6.1. I like everything in 6.1 a lot. The new dungeon is really good. The story is going in a place I knew it was gonna go. I just didn't think we'd get there so fast. So I'm gonna keep it vague for Ben's sake.
Yeah.
And the new Alliance raid series is really, really good. I like Aglaya a lot. It's a really good like series of boss fights.
I have seen people talking about it, and it seems really exciting.
It's extremely exciting. It's very fun. 2 of the fights are like stupid hard. I'm really bad at the Azima fight. The other ones I've kind of got a grasp on, but that one especially I'm just stunningly bad at, so I'm still learning. But everything else goes really well. I really like it. It's got that banger fucking new track that everybody loves. And yeah, that's kind of just Final Fantasy 14 continues to eat my life. Whoops.
Yep.
And the only other thing to really talk about is I watched that Kenneth Branagh movie, Death on the Nile, the fucking Agatha Christie adaptation.
The Hercule Poirot one?
Yeah.
The really, really bad looking one?
No, it's really good.
No, is it good?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
really good. Apparently, it's not as good as Murder on the Orient Express. So, like, I knew that they had done a Murder on the Orient Express, but, like, I didn't see it because it was before the world ended and it was in theaters, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't been to the movies in forever. So I didn't see Murder on the Orient Express, and it looked fine, but I didn't know that this was like also like that it was also directed by Kenneth Branagh. What I'm saying is I didn't know that Kenneth Branagh is just like, I'm gonna make Hercule Poirot movies now. And I'm like, okay. I mean, you can do that, bro.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do with your career, I think that rules. But yeah, I actually really liked Death on the Nile. But I'm also like a freak who really likes just extremely slow plotting mystery movies. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is one of my favorite movies, and it's like a 3.5 hour long movie where nothing fucking happens until the very end. Mm-hmm. And I think it's like I think it's one of my favorite movies, so that probably says a lot about me and the kind of shit I like. If it's like, oh yeah, the Death on the Nile, it takes 45 minutes for anybody to die. Like, it's great. It's just this long, slow setup before we actually get a dead body. Gal Gadot is still a terrible actress. Yeah. She's a bad person and she's a bad actress. So, you know, it's really funny that she keeps getting roles, mostly because she is like beautiful. I will concede to the fact that Gal Gadot is quite pretty. But like, she's such a bad actress and it's really funny. But she keeps getting roles, but it's fine because, well, Gal Gadot isn't in the movie after 45 minutes, I guess I should say.
Well, it's a body that shows up 45 minutes in, and Gal Gadot's only in it for 45 minutes. I think I see what's happening here. I think I'm putting some dots together, like Hercule Poirot would do.
No spoilers, but also, you know, don't worry about it.
Well, it's not really a spoiler of who dies in a mystery novel like this. Like,
yeah, I've never read Death on the Nile. I've actually never read any of the Poirot stories, which is very funny. Because again, I love mysteries. But so like I'd never read Death on it. So I really was like going with the movie. I was like, I don't actually, because I know it's Hercule Poirot, so someone's gonna die. But I was like, I don't know who actually dies in this movie. So when it happened, I went, oh shit, okay. But yeah, it's good. This is actually gonna probably make me go and watch Murder on the Orient Express, because if this one is good, but the other one is better, I'll probably have a great time.
Yeah.
But yeah, have I done anything else of note? No. Final Fantasy 14, please free me. I watched a movie and played Final Fantasy 14.
So you're doing Hercule Poirot, so how quick to the Columbo pipeline are you then?
I am not on the Columbo pipeline. I for one, Columbo, we've already been over this, Ben. They have to be 2.5 hours long. I'm sorry, Columbo movies are too short. They have to be like slow, plotting, moody murder stories with like a bunch of terrible people in them. And yeah, there are terrible people in Columbo stories, of course. But like, they've got to be really wretched. And murder mystery movies, that's the only way to get it. You know, it's gotta be long. I wish David Fincher would make the rest of those Girl with the Dragon Tattoo movies. I know he's never going to, because like that first one flopped super hard, despite the fact that I really liked it. So they're never gonna make another one. And I know like I could watch the original versions from Sweden. I think they're set in Sweden. Yeah. So I could watch those, and apparently they're good. But like, I also really just like the way David Fincher makes movies because they're very they're very weird and detached and moody, like I said. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly it. That's the stuff right there. I want my movies to feel like they were made by a robot, but not like a Marvel movie robot, like a freaky little man robot. And David Fincher certainly qualifies for that, is what I'm saying. But yeah, that's about it. I'll be free from Final Fantasy XIV someday. I keep saying, like, you know, at this point,
probably when I'm done with Endwalker, and then you don't have the responsibility of holding my hand through dungeons.
Hey, you say that, but like, I just gotta work it out of my system, because like, you know, the way Final Fantasy XIV is designed, it is, and I appreciate that about this game. It's very much like you're not meant to play it every single day. You're not meant to really maintain a subscription,
right, year
round. Like the way the game is made, you're encouraged to let your sub lapse once you've kind of had your fill, and then come back to it in a few months after it had like a content update or blah blah blah. And I will probably let that happen eventually, but I haven't worked this out of my system yet. I'm sorry. I need another 2.5 months to like really work all of this out of my system, and then maybe then I'll be free. But first I'm gonna level a crafter. I
wonder if there's potential for like some kind of MMO where they charge you per login, and it's like $1 to log in.
That's interesting. I guess,
because, you know, it's not like per hour or anything. It's like you log in, you play for 8 hours, and it costs you $1 a day, you know?
Sure. But then like you'd have people who would just never log out, right?
Well, I'm sure, like, you know, you'd have to get booted for maintenance, or like, you know, eventually like sense. Going idle would kick you out.
Yeah, I wonder. That's kind of funny. That's almost like the game going free to play, and you're just like buying stuff within the game, but instead you're buying your logins.
Yeah,
it's like the prepaid cell phone of MMOs is bought on logins instead.
Yeah.
Boy, I would be losing a lot of money then. Although that wouldn't work though, because like then you would have to do a thing where like you log in for the day and then you log out because you got to go do like, I don't know, you got to go see your lame family instead of play Final Fantasy XIV. And then you'd have to log back in, and that would be a double spend, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, then you plan around it.
That's true.
You know,
that's how they get you.
You have to be like, you know, do I really want to play for half hour, or can I hold off until I'm done?
No, I am currently at the point of my life where I'm like, do I have a spare like hour and a half? I can sneak some Final Fantasy XIV in.
Because the thing is, like, you can't just pop in and pop out, because it's like, I might have to wait in a queue. I might have to, if I get into a story thing, I might hit some cutscenes.
That's why you level a healer. You never have to wait in a queue.
Or a tank.
Or a tank, yeah. Keep your tanks and your healers leveled. You never have to wait in a queue. It's only us poor, sad DPS babies who have to sit and cry. And
or we're like, what if I don't have to queue, but I get like pre-patch Praetorium? And then you're like, oh shit, there's an hour.
Fuck, there goes my whole day. Fortunately, I guess we can talk about that real quick.
A little bit, yeah. Like both of us can talk about that because it's affected both of us.
Yeah, they really fucking fixed Prey, huh? Or just MSQ roulette in general.
Prey and Castrum are both way better.
Have you gotten Porta Decumana yet?
No, I have not.
You have not. Okay, so they also made so the way they split it up, if you don't know, is that they made Castrum and Praetorium 4-man dungeons instead. And they massively overhauled both of them. Like, yeah. Castrum probably even more so.
There's
just whole chunks of Castrum just gone. Like
the first time we did Castrum, we were walking around and I'm like, we're not in the part where you have to like walk around like the staircases and stuff. That part's just gone, huh?
They just cut that out. They cut out all the dumb horse shit with blowing up pipes. I remember the first time I got to the new version of Castrum and we got to Livia, and it's just like, wait, are we already done?
Oh, yeah, we're here. And the Livia fight's good now.
The Livia fight is good now. It keeps you on your toes.
It's super hectic.
It's really hectic and fun. It's teaching players, it teaches players useful things. They put tank busters in the second boss of Castrum, so you have to teach people what a tank buster indicator is. Yeah.
I have not gotten Praetorium yet, but I know they cut out the War Machina part.
Yes.
The Magitech armor part. They cut that out.
They cut out a ton of stuff. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's way better. You still have to deal with Sid and Nero's extremely long and awkward divorce conversation. There's no getting around
But that was not even close to the big drawback of running Praetorium.
Yeah. I will say that is still probably the longest cutscene of all of the MSQ roulette shit. And it still sucks. You can get up and go take a shower, and when you come back, Sid and Nero will still be talking, and it's like, oh god, shut up. But the rest of Prey has been massively chopped down. Praetorium actually ends at the Gaius fight.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to Porta Decumana, which is a new part of MSQ Roulette, where it is both Ultima fights.
That's cool.
So you start and you do Ultima, and then some cutscenes have La Habrea shows up and is such devastation. This was not my intention. That all that cutscene happens basically verbatim. And then you do the other half of Ultima.
Yes. That's very cool.
It's very cool. You get you actually get an LB3. It is the first place you get a LB3 now in the game. Yeah, it's really good. It's nice. It's really fun. It's a genuinely difficult, or at least not difficult, but you have to pay attention fight. You can't just do the Goobo-Doo through the whole fight anymore the way you used to. You couldn't just be that one asshole dancing in the background. You actually have to pay attention now. Mm-hmm. And there's no victory lap against La Habrea anymore. They cut that out.
Yeah, that's a solo duty now, right?
That's solo duty now, yeah.
Which, boo, but, understandable.
I get it. They actually added some shit in there, too. Apparently they added, new stuff going on, and they added, lines and stuff to make it more thematically relevant to the rest of the game. Because, again, I think they were just making things up as they went with A Realm Reborn. It's very funny. But yeah, I think all the new changes to MSQ Roulette are, super good. And now I don't utterly dread. I still dread getting Praetorium because it is so much longer now. Now it is significantly longer in comparison to Castrum, which is so short.
Right.
Okay. So I still dread getting Prey, but I guess it could be worse.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It could be worse, and we've seen it worse, so we know for sure.
Yeah, that's true. We know for a fact that it is much worse. You're right. What a fool I am. And yeah, I think that's it in terms of stuff you've experienced. Oh, yeah. One final joke. Extremely funny how much they cut. Just completely neutered Totorak, right?
Yeah.
The 1,000 maws of Totorak becomes the one maw of Totorak.
Hey, so in my IRL friends Discord server, when the stuff came out, I posted a picture of what Totorak used to look like and what it looked like now, and I have to be no, you don't understand. This is a good thing. This is
good. Simplification is an extremely good thing. If they could just go back and do that to all of the A Realm Reborn dungeons, we'd be happier people.
What you don't understand is they took all the mechanics out of the dungeon and put them in the boss where they belong.
Where it's way more fun and interesting.
It was.
Oh yeah.
Someone was talking about they were on Twitter. They made a post about it, and I had to edit that picture from The Godfather. Look at how they fixed my boy.
Yeah. They fixed our boy. They fixed Brayflox. We didn't talk about that. They made the Brayflox final boss fight good instead of bad. Stunner.
It's really cool now, actually.
It's good. It teaches people things instead of is just bad. Like, one of the funniest things, looking back on it now, having now played way too much Final Fantasy XIV in a short period of time, is like how fucking useless all of the Realm Reborn dungeons were.
Yeah, in terms of like trying to teach you about the rest of the game.
Yeah, like
because like
you literally didn't get any of that shit before. Like you don't get stack like standardized stack up markers or anything like that. It's stupid.
And like especially Brayflox, because like you pointed out when we got it in our roulette, it was like, oh yeah, you never ever see that thing where it's like draw the boss out of this AoE because it's healing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that never comes up in any other boss fight.
It never comes up. The only thing you really get in terms of like tanking is, at least going forward, is like, you know, draw the boss out of something that's like increasing its defense, or if you're in a raid, like pull these two bosses apart. Like near.
Yeah.
But like that's it.
Yeah, that's really it. Everything else, like for the most part, it doesn't really matter where the boss is, because after a Realm Reborn, they tend to move around a lot anyway. And
like now Brayflox teaches you that sometimes you're going to have multiple AoEs going off and they're going to be timed, and you have to be willing to stand in an AoE marker that isn't going to go off yet while you wait for another one to go off and then you move. You know? I know this sounds very simple, but when you think back on it, you go, hold on, Final Fantasy XIV didn't teach me any of this shit.
Yeah.
Until like Heaven's Word.
Right?
You spent all of that time in a Realm Reborn to learn basically nothing.
To learn a bunch of gimmicky shit that never comes up again.
Yeah, and it all sucks, and it's like, if you're gonna keep making this video game, you have to go back and do that to like standardize things, because maybe the gimmicky shit keeps people on their toes the first time, but after that, it's just, oh, I haven't done this dungeon in 6 months. I don't know what any of this stuff is anymore. But if you just standardize it, then that's just muscle memory shit, and you know exactly what to do no matter what. It's very funny to me, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That they made a whole beginning of the video game 40 hours, and it teaches you nothing. It took them 10 years to make it useful.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's like, you know, like the whole thing is like early SNES or like Mario games like include like rooms where they show you here's what the gimmick is, and then they like do the gimmick later, but you're on a moving platform.
Right,
It's like, oh, I get it now. Realm Reborn is like if you went from playing Mega Man 2 to like Mega Man X3. Like, yeah, they're kind of similar, but they have completely different, like, mechanics built in.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like,
I kind of recognize this, but also, no, I don't.
Here's Quick Man Stage's gimmick, and now we're moving on to Neon Tiger. It's like, oh, yeah. Okay.
It's like, so they added stack-up markers to the Crystal Tower, right?
Yeah.
Thank fuck. Jesus Christ. They actually added standardized stack-up markers to the Crystal Tower, because before, they just weren't. They were stack-ups, but they didn't tell you they were stack-ups. So, it's just like, go fuck yourself, I guess. So they fixed it, thank fucking God.
Yeah, massive improvements everywhere.
Just across the board, thank God. It only took them 10 years.
And we got a house.
The
Gorge has a house now.
The Gorge has a house now, so, you know, that's us. We did it, folks. We made it.
Let's see. Besides FF14, is there anything else that you did besides?
Oh no, okay. I didn't do anything else.
I know. Besides 14 myself, I got to have Endwalker.
Yep.
I went back to school.
Yay! Back to college.
Stuck in college again.
Oh God. Fuck.
I won't say too much because we're doing a big Endwalker episode later next month. The only thing I'll say right now is that Xenos and Fandaniel are the funniest comedy duo in FF history.
It rules.
Xenos is like peak straight man. I can't believe it. I can't believe how much he just sandbags every single thing Fandaniel says.
No, it's incredible. It's extremely funny, yeah. How much he just doesn't even like know Fandaniel's name. I will give you a single spoiler about Endwalker, and it's not even really a spoiler. I'm just sitting here thinking about it. I don't think Xenos says Fandaniel's name out loud once in all of Endwalker, now that I'm thinking about it.
And it's the funniest thing to me, the thing that gets me the most, it's the unspoken joke about every single cutscene they're in, is that Xenos can just kill him.
Oh, yeah.
At any moment.
At any second, yeah.
At any time, Xenos can be like, yeah, I'm bored, you're dead.
Yeah, of course. Turn him into paste.
We know this is within Xenos' character to do that. Mm-hmm. To just kill people that he finds annoying or boring.
Sure. Yeah, it's extremely fun. I guess because it wouldn't take, because Fandaniel would just possess another body. I mean, that's how he got Asahi.
But it's still like, you could get him out of his way for a little bit.
Yeah, he wouldn't have to deal with him for a little bit, that's true. Honestly, it'd be even funnier if he just kept killing him. He just kept coming back to pester Xenos. Because
I thought that's what the gimmick would be with Emmett Salk.
Right.
Because he does that once.
Oh yeah, they do it once.
Where, Solus kills him. Or was it Neris?
No, it's Varys, yeah.
Varys, yeah. Varys kills him. And like he's like, I'm in another body now. And I'm like, oh, that'll be the joke. Is that you'll fight Emmett Salk, or someone will fight Emmett Salk and kill him, and he'll just pop back in. Mm-hmm. Because he's got like 1 million bodies to pop into.
Right.
But no, they only did it once, and
they only did it the once. I guess because all of his spare bodies are back on the source, and you're in the first, so you know.
But no, I'm really enjoying Endwalker. Mm-hmm. Excited to see where it goes.
Estinian, the most unemployed man in Eorzea.
the bit where you're all going to Charlian,
going through immigration,
and the clerk is like, name an occupation, and Estinian's like, oh shit. Oh shit.
Honestly, the funniest part of that, like, yeah, it's really funny that Estinian's like, wait, am I unemployed? The other funniest part of that bit was just for me, when he introduces himself as Estinian Varlano, and I went, you don't have a last name. Your last name is Wormblood. And it's like, well, no, I guess you can't go around calling yourself that anymore if you're actually trying to help dragons.
Yeah.
Instead of you can't exactly walk around calling yourself Estinian dragon murderer. And then you're like, I am a friend to dragons everywhere now. Right? But still, like, the fact that he has a real last name, and it's a last name that reminds me that he's French, disgusting.
Yeah.
Unacceptable.
The part where she asks for your name and occupation, and one of them is just Savior of Eorzea.
That's not a job, however. I guess it is, but
so I picked Adventurer by trade.
Sure.
But it's still funny because the utter disgust in which she says, I guess that's a job in Eorzea.
It's like, shut up. You fucking nerds. An entire society of nerds. They have to be destroyed. I can't abide by Charlians. I'm sorry.
There's a Spider-Man comic where Peter is trying to, like, back when he was a teacher, he's trying to check up on a student who's, like, not doing well, and he's trying to find out where she lives and, like, what's going on with their home situation. And he finds, like, her apartment building, but it's been condemned. Mm-hmm. And the landlady pokes her head out the window, and she's like, what are you doing here? He's like, I'm trying to find someone. Do they live here? And she's like, no one lives here. It's condemned. Can you see the sign? And he's like, in his mind, he's like, I can outpunch the Hulk. I can bench press every member of the Avengers. I think I can take her.
I can maybe take her. You have killed gods, but in the face of immigration bureaucracy, this, like, Lalafell turns their nose up at you, and you're just like, motherfucker! they can technically tell me that I can't come in.
Yeah.
So I have to be nice. God damn it.
It doesn't matter that literally the leaders of 5 different nations have you on link shell speed dial.
Yeah.
If you don't actually have a fixed address.
Where do we send these bills? I'm trying to avoid those, actually. That's why I don't have a house. Thank you.
Why do you think I befriended all these government leaders? So I don't have to pay bills anymore.
I just send them to Emmerich, you know? Emmerich gets to his office and he just has a stack of bills from Estinian and the Warrior of Light. Like, God damn it. Oh, God.
What else did I did? I watched something, I read something, and I played something.
Okay, hit me.
Melissa and I watched Our Flag Means Death.
Okay.
Boy, I can't believe Taika Waititi just made his Megrod Pirate AU fanfic a TV show.
Wow, I think you found the way to sell me on Our Flag Means Death. Jesus Christ.
Sarah, I'm not even remotely joking. This shit is just more than meets the eye with pirates.
Great. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks when I've watched it.
Like, I'm watching this and I'm like, holy shit, he's just He's just a foppish Rodimus.
Yeah, what? Foppish Rodimus is a tautology and you know it.
Like, that's just Megatron. Like, Blackbeard is just Megatron.
Oh,
he even has a Tarn.
Oh, really?
There's a character that, like, when Blackbeard starts to mellow out and be like, yeah, I'm cool now. I'm just gonna chill and vibe. There's a guy who's like, I miss when you were edgy and cool and murdered people.
Great.
I'm like, holy fucking shit. This is just more than meets the eye.
Great. You did it. You found a way to sell me on Our Flag Means Death faster than all 700,000 posts about it that show up on my Twitter timeline. Yeah. Like, that's the one I'm listening now. Thank you.
Really, really good. It's only 10 episodes long, and they're all like 22 minutes, which is the perfect amount of time shows should be now. Remember when shows were 22 minutes?
Remember when they were just like simple, and they didn't have to be like big, fucking everybody trying to be Game of Thrones horseshit?
They didn't have to be an hour long.
Yeah.
Really, really good. I read Superman Up in the Sky.
Okay,
which is the best Superman comic I've ever read.
Okay.
Now, I've never been a DC guy. Like,
sure.
I don't really collect their comics, not even close to the amount of Marvel or IDW stuff.
Sure, absolutely.
I own. But I saw a few pages of Up in the Sky, and I was sold so hard on it. The premise is, a girl gets kidnapped by aliens, and Superman flies to save her. Mm-hmm. And it's 5 issues of him going beyond the limits of physicality because one little girl is in danger.
Oh, okay. That sounds good.
It's fucking amazing because it's just a bunch of vignettes of him like cruising the galaxy,
right?
And like finding aliens and getting in fights and going to weird mind-melting planets and like getting thrown back in time.
Oh wow, okay.
And it'll just be like, it's like 2 or 3 vignettes per issue, and it's just, here's Superman, he's in a situation, and here's what he does to get out of it.
Yeah.
And then bam, move on to the next one. There's no in between.
Sounds great. Yeah.
And like, there's a bit where they reenact the Superman versus Ali thing. Mm-hmm. The boxing match from the old Silver Age comics where he's in a boxing match with this alien, and it's like the rules, like, no heat vision, no freeze breath, no flight, no super speed, just your strength against his strength, and he's getting fucking pummeled, right?
Great.
And it's like 5 rounds in, and he's got like one eye is swollen shut, and he's just spitting up blood, and he's like sitting in the chair, and like his coach is like, "Are you done?" And he goes, "I saved that girl. Did I bring her home?" And he goes, "No, suppose you didn't. Then I'm not done."
That's awesome.
That's
great.
There's a bit where Superman is trapped in what's basically the galactic DMV. And he's just sitting there in line. And while he's in line, it's just showing flashes of him thinking about Lois in trouble.
Right.
Because he's in space. and he's not there to protect her.
Yeah, yeah.
And so he just keeps thinking about, like, she's been kidnapped by Lex Luthor. She's being tortured by the Joker. She's getting eaten by a giant snake.
Great.
It's so fucking good.
Great. Okay.
It's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's just all about, like, you know, there's so much other stuff you could be doing besides doing all this to save one little girl.
Person. Yeah, absolutely.
But are you going to abandon one little girl?
Yeah, are you going to give up on this on one person? And, like, you know, doesn't one person also matter, like, in the grand scheme of things as well?
Yeah. Like, holy shit. Between this and Superman Smashes the Klan, like, are my two absolute favorite Superman stories ever told.
Yeah,
easily.
That sounds great. Yeah,
holy crap.
Awesome.
Highly recommend anyone who's even remotely interested in Superman look for Up in the Sky.
Yeah.
And lastly, I played Kirby in the Forgotten Land.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I have not played a Kirby game since Superstar Ultra on the DS.
Mm-hmm.
This is great. This is the Mario Odyssey of Kirby games.
Oh, really?
Like,
obviously, I have only seen, like, the meme stuff.
Mm-hmm. Just to assuage your fears, mouthful mode is something that Kirby learned after getting warped to the Forgotten Lands.
Oh, good. Okay.
It is not a thing he can just do.
Okay.
It is explicitly a special ability he gains after coming here.
Okay. It's not something he's just been able to do, and we weren't aware.
Right.
Okay.
I don't know if this is just the norm. It's the first Kirby game I played that has an anime opening.
Really?
It's got
that's cute.
Once you beat the first level, like, Kirby, like, you know, he mouthful modes the car, and, like, he's driving around, like, this abandoned, you know, near Automata highway, and they play a little anime opening for him.
That's not even
he's
like with, like, an animated sequence, or
no,
like
it's 3D, but, like, it's got a theme song, and, like, he's cruising around, and it's, like, showing vignettes and different shots of, like, the world, and it's got lyrics
cute.
And everything. It's really cute.
That's just an anime opening. Yeah, that's not like a normal thing in, like, Nintendo games, generally speaking. But again, I guess I'm kind of out of touch with Nintendo games. I haven't owned a Switch in ever.
Like, so, I know, what's it? Astral Chain had an anime opening.
Okay.
Like, along the same lines of just, like, this is a CG anime opening with a title theme and everything. Mm-hmm. But no, the game plays really well. It's the first Kirby game in 3D, and they adapt it really well. There were, like, clips about, like, you know, how they handled the switch from 3D. There's a really funny thing where, like, Nintendo came back and they're like, can you add, like, more enemies or, like, more pits and stuff to, like, make it more challenging? And the devs were like, well, we don't want to be mean to Kirby.
Kirby's our little boy.
Yeah.
We don't want to bully Kirby.
No.
He's our little friend.
They did a really cool thing, because, like, it's 3D, but it's like Crash Bandicoot 3D, where it's just you're going down a hallway and the camera, like, moves along and follows you, you know? Mm-hmm. So they have a thing where, like, if it looks like your attack would hit based on the angle you're in, it hits.
Huh.
So, like, because, like, you know, if the camera's kind of, like, you know, looking forward, and, like, you swing an attack, and if the camera were up, like, face looking straight down, the enemy would be out of range of the attack.
Yeah.
But from the camera angle that it's at, it looks like it should hit. It counts.
It does hit. Okay. Oh, I wonder how they made that work.
I don't know either, but, like, it's a really, like, neat. It's one of those little touches where it's like, you know, it's like Coyote Time in other platformers, where it's like, you have a half second after you leave a platform jump.
Yeah, exactly.
But mouthful mode is obviously the gimmick of it. There aren't as many abilities as, like, other Kirby games. Mm-hmm. But you can evolve them.
Okay.
So, like, you get a fire breath, and it can turn into, like, a volcano attack instead. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You can turn your cutter ability into a chakram that goes farther when you throw it out.
Yeah.
So that's all really cool.
Okay.
The idea for each level is that you have to rescue the Waddle Dees that have been imprisoned, and you complete little objectives per level, like eat snacks that are found on 5 tree stumps in the level.
Right.
Or like, break down this wall with this ability to find a cage with them. What's cool about it is that they're all question marks when you first start the level, and then when you beat the level, it unlocks what the objective was.
Huh.
So like if you missed one and but you didn't know what it was, like it'll tell you what you needed to do, and then you can just run through the level again and get them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if you're not hunting for things, levels take like 2 minutes.
Oh, cute. Okay.
So it's like, because I did one where it's like I couldn't find it, and it was like tear down the Kirby's wanted poster at the end of the level. And it's like, well, since I'm not hunting for him on replay, I can just cruise right through it and be done right away.
Okay, so it's kind of like levels last as long as you want them to.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Okay, that sounds cute.
Yeah, it's really fun. I beat the first world, and moved on to the second, and yeah, it's fun. I have not played a Kirby game in so long, and I forgot how much I enjoy them.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think I've played a Kirby game since like my Game Boy, maybe. I've never been like a big Kirby person, I guess. I'm realizing.
Yeah. Huh. The only thing I know for sure about it is that King Dedede's boss theme is the best it's ever been in this game.
Oh, really?
I'll have to link it to you after the episode because
please.
It's so good. It's called Roar of Dedede.
Yes. Good for him.
Okay, so that's it. That's
easy
it.
peasy.
Yeah.
As long as Final Fantasy XIV continues to eat my life, these are very easy beginning roundups.
Yep.
Whoops.
So let's move on to what's been happening.
Tell me some news, Ben.
Let's get the biggest and best thing out of the way first.
Okay. You want to? Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. We haven't actually talked about it.
We have not had a chance to talk about it yet.
Okay, Ben, do it.
Kingdom Hearts 4 announced a 20th anniversary event.
I woke up, so I slept in that day. Because I can basically, like, my work schedule is very flexible as long as I get my 8 hours in. So I slept in that day, and I woke up to just like the Discord being on fire, my DMs being on fire, Twitter was on fire, and I'm like, what is going on? And I realized they've announced Kingdom Hearts 4, and it's just like, already?
It's just it's 4. So the trailer itself is just like the title on YouTube is just 20th anniversary announcement.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like, it doesn't show anything. I didn't actually see that 4 got announced.
Right.
Because I knew it was coming, and it's like, well, it's a Japanese event, and it's happening really late, so it's going to be like 4 a.m., and I'm not staying up for that,
Yeah,
of
course.
But I'll catch it. I wasn't doing a live reaction stream or anything, so like there's no reason for me to stick around. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm sure they're gonna announce like Dark Road and like probably a mobile game or like the next game or whatever. And when I saw the 20th anniversary announcement trailer, underneath it was a shot of Kingdom Hearts 4 Sora, and I'm like, good fake. Like, that totally, that good, nice one. I really appreciate this fake trailer underneath that. So I'm watching it. It's like, yeah, Dark Road is cool. Missing Link looks pretty good for a mobile game.
Sure.
And then, holy fucking shit!
Just Kingdom Hearts 4 running. So the trailer itself is running in UE4.
Yep.
But they intend to, once UE5 is like properly out, they are going to convert it and finish development in Unreal 5 once it is officially out. So the game obviously is still quite a ways away, which is fine. Who cares?
Yeah, it's not nearly as far away as Kingdom Hearts 3 was when it was first announced in 2013.
Right. Yeah.
Not a chance, because they had to entirely switch engines.
Yeah. The continuing cool thing about the existence of Unreal is that it means that they can make video games faster.
Yeah.
Square Enix is clearly leaning into building things in Unreal, and it is significantly helping their development output,
Mm-hmm.
So, good for them.
And they even said, like, we announced Kingdom Hearts 3 way too early. we were not nearly close to being ready for it.
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to say hopeful late 2023. Most likely mid-late 2024.
Probably, I would sooner say like mid to late 2024, because there are still resources being ostensibly still being put towards Final Fantasy 16 and the 7 remake.
Right.
So those probably are still taking priority, just in terms of order of release. But yeah, I think optimistically late 2024 is perfectly fine. I would just love it if we could get some info about 7 remake too now.
I'm sure that's the next thing on their list of stuff to announce, but
this summer maybe. But yeah, no, Kingdom Hearts 4 looks really good.
I just want to break down the other two first, just because they won't take nearly as long. Dark Road is Dark Road. I played it for a little bit. They dropped a lot of new characters in this, so that'll be fun to see. Like how they're gonna tie in.
Sure.
I'm really excited for Missing Link.
So this is like a weird Pokemon Go, like AR kind of game.
It's
right?
got like an AR element, but like you also don't have to leave your house if you don't want to.
Yeah, like you can turn the AR thing off.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently.
They're switching to Smash Bros. Trophies instead of medals.
Oh, okay.
That's funny. Which I like that trailer. Like it shows like you're summoning like Goofy medal, like a Goofy trophy, and like a Kingdom Hearts 3 Sora trophy. And the story, it's the Missing Link. It is the in between Union Cross and Birth by Sleep, basically.
Okay.
So just like what happened to close that gap.
Right.
You're going to be able to make your own player. We've seen like up to 6 players can do raids together.
Okay. Cute.
I don't know how any of that's going to work.
With an AR mode. I mean, I guess again, you can turn the AR mode off and just play with your friends, but it's still very weird.
Mm-hmm. It looked relatively real-time combat too.
Right.
Like it wasn't the turn-based RPG medal system that Union Cross was.
Right.
And we've also seen Brain in 3D for the first time, so that's cool.
Okay.
We've also seen they are definitely going to the Kingdom of Corona. Like we've seen Kingdom Hearts 3 elements in Missing Link.
Okay.
So that's cool. We've for sure seen the Kingdom of Corona, and I think one of the worlds is Monsters Inc.
Okay.
I think that I saw assets from that.
Just make use of those assets. Yeah. That makes sense.
But yeah, the big thing is obviously, holy shit, Kingdom Hearts 4 is just coming out next.
It's just coming out, and they just announced it, and it's real. The art style, they're just like totally leaning into, obviously not realistic because it's still Kingdom Hearts, but a more, because it is art style changes depending on the world you're in. Yeah. And this is a different world, so it's a more like kind of realistic, grounded looking art style, which I think is very funny looking. I like it. I think it looks really neat. I think the whole art style seems very interesting, and I'm just wondering like how all of it's going, like, is it going to be ultimately like a traditional Kingdom Hearts game, or is it all going to be in Quadratum, or what?
So they've shown, and I think Nomura mentioned that like he showed the ending scene of Donald and Goofy walking around the underworld to be like, no, it's still Disney. You're still going to do your world exploration. They're still like, it's not always going to just be this.
Yeah, exactly.
So I want, because the whole thing with Kingdom Hearts 3 was like they had the Kingdom Shader, which is like you go to a different world and like the shading and the texturing resembles that world's art style, right?
Yeah, to make everybody kind of fit in better.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if this will go up the next level and kind of alter their like model too, you know? Like when Sora goes back to a more traditional Disney world, will he revert back to a more traditional Kingdom Hearts style?
Yeah.
Which, I don't know, like, because the bits of Donald and Goofy are very clearly, like, up-resed, remastered Kingdom Hearts 3 models.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, that's just,
Yeah.
I recognize those models specifically.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what's going to happen when they get to Quadratum. What are they going to look like?
just a dog and a duck following Sora around.
Are we going to get to see Donald's feathers, like, rendered out?
They won't be able to talk. They'll just be able to bark and quack. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just going to be like animals wearing clothes following Sora around. Why do you have a duck in your backpack? Look, don't worry about it. Okay. Are you going to let me onto the subway with this duck or not?
I love all the memes of, like...
Yeah, we know someone died and went to hell because he's got to pay rent now.
Yeah. Sora and Strelitzia being roommates and having to pay bills. Strelitzia being like, I'm so glad you're here. I finally a roommate to help me pay rent.
Yeah, because somebody found the apartment, like the exact apartment that Sora wakes up in, and it's in like one of the most expensive wards in Tokyo.
Well, one of the cool things that the opening shot of that trailer, like the office building they're in, like that shows like the opening shots with like the narration over it. That's the building the event took place in.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That's really cool. Okay.
So like the
so
people.
If you're in that building, like watching that trailer at the event, you're like, what the fuck?
You're like, I went up that escalator.
I was just there. What the fuck? That's amazing.
Big shout outs to the guy who's filming the dark side on his phone instead of running away.
Instead of running for his life. Yeah. That guy knows what's up. He's gonna get so many fucking views on TikTok. Holy shit. It's incredible.
They showed off a couple cool new mechanics. Sora using the keychain as a grappling hook.
Every character action man has to have a grappling hook now because Devil May Cry was like, no, it's really cool.
Yeah. Looks sick as hell. What a cool thing to utilize the Keyblade for.
Right,
you know?
Yeah. Absolutely.
We've also seen a return for Keyblade transformations, which were in 3, but like this one seems a bit more streamlined. Which I don't know if it's just going to be just for the Kingdom Key, but like the other keychains will also have their own weird transformations. But like, you know, we saw him turn into a big Gurren Lagann drill.
Yeah.
Which I hope they're all themed, because I really like that about 3, is that every Keyblade had like, it transformed into a unique weapon. And like it had its own like transformation sequence and like its own mechanics around it. I'm hoping they streamline it so that it's like you have access to all those moves no matter which Keyblade you have, but they look different depending on which one you have equipped.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's possibly Star Wars. Isn't this
possibly Star Wars? I knew it was. If they're. Yeah, they're gonna put Star Wars in this. One, because Tetsuya Nomura would never pass up the opportunity to put a Star War in his Kingdom Hearts game. Are you kidding me?
If that is not like Endor, it sure looks a lot like Endor.
Sure as hell looks a lot like Endor.
That looks exactly like the foot of an ATST.
Yeah, so I would love it if they would put a Star War in. I don't want a Marvel in, but I think a Star War would be extremely fun.
Yeah.
So
I've said for a while I want my Darth Vader boss battle.
Sure, absolutely. That's a given. We're replacing Sephiroth with Darth Vader if we're not going to have any Sephiroth fight in Kingdom Hearts anymore.
Let Yoko Shimomura remix the Empire's theme, you know?
Yes, absolutely. Duel of the Fates. Remix that one.
Yeah, that would be baller.
It would be extremely cool, actually. I think it would probably drive us all categorically insane, which I'm here for.
let's see what else. Sora's new design looks great. His new outfit
Sora's new design
looks great.
Is very good. Rip to the big cartoon feet. He has just like normal human feet now.
He just has regular shoes.
He's got regular shoes, and it's like, what have they done to my boy? They make him pay. They gave him normal shoes. They're making him pay rent. Oh, Sora, what's happened to you?
When he leaves Quadratum, his shoes will get bigger. Don't worry.
Yeah, his shoes just pop. Right, just go.
Yeah.
Pop, go right back to normal size. Like, thank God. That's horrible.
I appreciate Donald and Goofy being like, well, Sora's dead. Let's check the underworld.
I think it's very funny that, like, the persistent world across Kingdom Hearts is Hercules?
I know part of it is just that Nomura really likes Hades.
That's fair.
Like, he just really likes getting to write for Hades.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I have to wonder, like, did Nomura like Hercules before making Kingdom Hearts? Or was it something he realized afterward? You know?
I don't know. It just seems like Nomura is like a huge fan of Hercules in specific, which is a very funny movie to be your favorite favorite Disney movie. Like, that's a fine movie. It's not bad.
No, I really like it. It's my favorite Superman movie.
It is the best Superman movie ever made. That is true. It's a perfectly fine movie. It's just very funny for that one to ostensibly, apparently be. He's like, no, you can have all the other 2D Disney movies out, but we're putting Hercules in. You're like, why? Okay.
I think that's great. I really hope that my hope is that with Quadratum being like the main hub world, they lean into the more modern setting Disney movies.
Yeah.
Because I want Sora to go to the far off land of Toronto, Canada.
He's going from Tokyo to Canada. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go hang out in Toronto. When I watched Turning Red, I literally was thinking at one point while watching, it's a cute movie. But there's a part at the very end where she's like running across rooftops as in like her Red Panda mode. And I was just watching it. I was like, this is so video gamey in a very fun. It's like a whole like running and jumping sequence. It's really cute. But the whole time I'm watching it, I'm thinking like, I would love to be able to do this in a video game, to like transform from like an animal to a person like on the fly like that.
Right.
And I thought it was like, it's very cute. So I think a Turning Red world would be actually kind of adorable.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a sucker for that idea. Yeah.
Like, you know, that I would like to see them return to Big Hero 6 and like with the new engine, like do more stuff in the city. Like Disney has released a lot of movies that are kind of set in a more modern time instead of the fantasy era, and I think this is kind of a good way to cross those off the list.
Yeah.
Obviously Moana was gonna be in
Moana is a gimmick. That's not a modern
Yeah.
one, but it's getting in. They're going to put Moana in.
Yeah.
They don't have a choice. And I mean that's fine. Moana's cool. So, you know, we'll see.
What else? The Lost Master arc is the title for this saga in Kingdom Hearts.
God.
Very cool. Yeah, I knew Strelitzia was going to be in the next Kingdom Hearts, but like I didn't expect her to like
in
be
the trailer.
Yeah.
Have every Final Fantasy 14 player who doesn't play Kingdom Hearts go, hang on a second.
Wait a minute.
Hang on. Is he allowed to do that?
Why is Reen here? I saw someone say that.
I mean, like, I don't blame him. I don't play Kingdom Hearts. I saw Strelitzia and I was like, hang on a minute.
The thing...
Yeah. Is he allowed to do that?
The thing that set me off though about it, because like looking at it, like, yeah, it's you know, long orange-haired girl in white dress, right?
Sure.
The thing I realized is they both have hair clips on the same side of their hair.
They both have hair clips on the same side of their head. Yeah, no. It's not even like... Nomura is just like... like, Yoshi P came to Nomura and was like, hey, will you design a character for us for Shadowbringers? And Nomura was just like, well, shit, I'm working on Kingdom Hearts. I'm working on the Final Fantasy VII remake. I'm really busy. I really don't have the time for it. So it's just like he dug around in his desk until he found like a preliminary version of Strelitzia, and then just gave that to Yoshi P. Like, there you go.
I wonder if there's an interview where it's like, yeah, I wanted to do the thing I did with Axel and Reno, where it's like I wanted to put Reno in Kingdom Hearts, but not really Reno.
Right. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he also did it with Gaia and what's her face
and Skuld, yeah.
And Skuld, it's like, now mind you, Skuld is by all accounts a nice person, and Gaia is a huge bitch that I love.
God, if Skuld shows up in a trailer next to Strelitzia,
everyone's just gonna know.
FF14 fans are gonna lose their goddamn minds.
Just explode and be like, you're not even being subtle about it anymore. It's just extremely funny to me. Like, you know, Nomura, live your bliss, my man. You're getting paid a lot of money to just design these girls who look identical. Good for you.
Bottom line, Nomura's still insanely bitter he did not get to make Versus 13. And he is doing
super tell.
He is doing everything in his power to just make Versus 13.
He's gonna make Versus 13 in Kingdom Hearts. Fuck you.
It's to the point where someone mentioned it and I've been thinking about it. If Versus 13 was made, what direction would Kingdom Hearts have gone into?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. Like, had Nomura, like, I don't know.
Had he been able to get out these ideas in Versus 13 ahead of time, like, what would the course of Kingdom Hearts have taken then?
I know, that's actually a good question. Maybe it's for the best that Nomura got to he's just putting it in Kingdom Hearts now. Apparently he wanted to make a Verum Rex game, but he decided to do Kingdom Hearts 4 instead. Because people were really worried about Sora.
Yeah. I saw the quote that I saw, like, I don't know if it was a mistranslation or not, but his quote was, I would be worried about Sora.
It's so cute. That's very sweet, Nomura. He's a very interesting guy. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
Just like the way he talks about his characters and stuff.
So also, this is not related to that, but like it happened around the same time. Utada Hikaru was at
Coachella.
Coachella, and they did sing "Don't Think Twice" and "Simple and Clean."
Fantastic, good for her.
And apparently, she's never played Kingdom Hearts.
That makes sense.
She just writes the songs and Nomura wraps the game around it.
Yeah, she just does the music.
Also,
yeah, absolutely.
Also, her appearance at Coachella gave us a good idea of what Kairi will look like in Kingdom Hearts 4.
Yeah, that's true.
Everyone had been drawing quote Kingdom Hearts 4 Kairi with really long hair, and then here's Hikaru with like a super short buzz cut. Like, oh, that's what Kairi will look like.
Good for Kairi. Yeah, Kairi deserves that. I would love it if Kairi shows up and she just cut all of her hair off even more.
Yeah. God.
Kingdom
Holy
Hearts 4, buddy.
It's coming out.
It's coming out. It got announced. It's real. It might take a little while, but it does exist certifiably.
They didn't even flex like a potential release date. They're just saying magic in the making now, which is very Disney.
Hilariously, I am positive that Kingdom Hearts 4 exists more than Mass Effect 4.
Absolutely. Oh, for sure. Definitely.
I think Kingdom Hearts 4 exists more than Dragon Age 4, which is a game that has ostensibly been in development for longer.
Do you know why that is?
Why?
It's because Square Enix isn't about to lose. Everyone in Square Enix is about to lose their jobs at any moment.
Good point. Yeah, they're making money hand over fist from Final Fantasy 14. They're like, fuck yeah, we can do whatever we want.
Square Enix isn't in danger of being bought out by another company and then just dissolved.
Just completely and utterly. You know, they're not in danger of being taken out back by EA and put down like Old Yeller. Just don't look at him when you shoot him, Bobby.
The other thing I'm very excited for about Kingdom Hearts 4 is the revisionist history of Kingdom Hearts 3 being good.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for everyone who hates Kingdom Hearts 3 right now to talk about how Kingdom Hearts 3 is the best and Kingdom Hearts 4 ruined it.
Yeah, absolutely. The combat in Kingdom Hearts 3 is so much better, they'll say, now that once 4 comes out and they hate it. Yeah, it's perfect.
Absolutely. It'll be nice vindication for being right the whole time since the beginning.
Yeah, of course. You savor in that feeling, Ben. You've been right all along.
Yep. Whew. Yeah. Kingdom Hearts 4. All right, that's the end of the podcast.
That's the whole podcast, folks. Nomura-san, or whoever is in charge of Square Enix right now, can I please now get my Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 7 R2 trailers? Please.
I'm sure that's coming soon.
They said we're getting information about 16 soon.
Isn't 16 out this year?
No. Well, I mean, ostensibly it was supposed to be, but not anymore.
Maybe at Fakey 3 we'll get some news.
Maybe at Summer Games Fest.
Yeah.
Jeff Keighley, will you give me good news about Final Fantasy 16, please?
Will you please have Miss Piggy premiere the trailer for Final Fantasy 16?
I will say, because we've been talking about this a lot lately, just like while we play 14. So we make a lot of jokes about like the dumbass localization decisions they make in Final Fantasy 14, all being the fault of Christopher Koji Fox. And apparently Koji Fox stopped working on 14 after Stormblood. A different localizer worked on Shadowbringers and Forward. So now I'm just like, oh no, the Final Fantasy 16 localization is gonna be full of shitty jokes. Koji Fox, get your hands off of that game!
Don't you dare put more Hamilton references in 16.
If you put a Hamilton reference in Final Fantasy 16, I'll show up at his house. No one will be able to stop me. I know what he looks like now. I watched that No-Clip documentary.
Thankfully, it seems like his references were of the time, so mercifully we'll only get memes from 2020 and 2021.
Oh, great. That makes me want to be dead even more now, Ben. I can't wait for a COVID joke in Final Fantasy 16.
Oh, God.
I'm right. Please
You are
look forward
right.
to that.
But yeah, that's it. The trailer itself did not have like a lot to show besides all of it.
It's sizzle.
It's an announcement trailer. It's better than a title card.
It's better than just a title card. They show like the suggestion of gameplay, which again indicates that it exists more than like Mass Effect 4. So that's good.
Oh yeah, the fourth slot on the command bar was build.
That's interesting.
And we have no idea what that means.
Yeah, no idea. But that's interesting. So yeah, Kingdom Hearts 4.
Kingdom Hearts 4. New font looks really cool. New title card looks cool. They posted that
title
artwork.
Card is very nice. It's very fancy.
They also posted everyone's new phone background.
Yeah,
for the next 6 months.
The shot of like the whole cast. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
very nice. Enjoy your new phone wallpaper.
Also, they with those 4 portraits of Sora announced everyone's new Twitter icon for the next 6 months.
Just depending on which Sora is your favorite.
Yeah, there's just a sea of Kingdom Hearts 4 Sora portraits on my Twitter feed now.
Yeah, I can't tell anybody apart. It's great.
Right. Yeah. Moving on.
Next.
The rest is not nearly as big, but it's still pretty cool.
It's fine.
Fantastic Beasts, how scandal and controversy have derailed the Wizarding franchise.
Killed by the furries.
70% drop.
Oh, soak it in. Eat shit, you rancid turf in your bad franchise.
Hey, you know what? It turns out Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles were the real Fantastic Beasts the whole time.
That's true. And that other fucking furry movie.
The bad guys, yeah.
The bad guys that everybody really likes. That also outperformed Fantastic Beasts. So again, that's what I'm saying.
Which the bad guys does have some stellar animation.
Yeah, great animation and character designs. Explicitly made by furries. If you look at some of these, like the artists, the artists' Twitter they're not like furry Twitter, but they're also like, yeah, we wanted him to be hot. Mm-hmm. Like the goal was to make the wolf look good. It's very funny.
It's the PG-13 version of seeing someone's innocent art and knowing instinctively that they draw fetish art.
Yeah, absolutely. It's that, but like more innocuous, where you look at it and you're like, oh, you wanted this wolf to be hot. I see. Yeah. I see. We're all just having to make peace with that. I mean, good for them. Like I said, furries say trans rights and fuck J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
Truly.
The franchise is dead. Like, officially dead now.
Good. Kill it. Leave us alone. Fuck off, Joe. We're all
Yeah.
sick of you anyways. Can't stand it.
Yeah. Good for Sonic and the bad guys.
if anybody's gonna say trans rights, it's gonna be Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm here to tell you.
Hell yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I still need to watch Sonic 2. I heard it's even better than the first one.
I haven't even seen the first one yet.
Next, Return to Monkey Island can finally answer the series' biggest question. Holy shit! They're just making a sequel to Monkey Island.
Making a sequel to Monkey Island
Like
after all this time.
The original Monkey Island.
Yes. Very funny to me because apparently the guy who makes the Monkey Island games was like, I don't like doing big reveal announcements, but if I was ever gonna do one, I would do it on April Fool's Day. And that's exactly what happened.
Yep.
Which is great. I'm hoping it's only $20 so that we can all continue to live by the rules of Monkey Island, which is never pay more than $20 for a computer game.
Yep. That would be the way to do it.
It's being published by Devolver Digital, which obviously...
Of course, if anyone's going to bring it back, it's them. It is by the original, Ron Gilbert, the creator of the first two titles, is back. And so, this is the official third chapter of Monkey Island.
Right, we're not paying attention to all of those other ones that came out and looked bad, so that's good.
Yeah. Very cool. I've never actually played Monkey Island. I'm excited to finally have a reason to pick them up and play them all.
I think that'd be a fun stream game, because that's a very, you know how we're always I wish we could have streamed Great Ace Attorney, because it's funny to listen to the two of us try and solve puzzles together. It'd be fun to stream the Monkey Island games, because that's also just the two of us being assholes trying to, solve puzzles.
When 14 has stopped eating our lives, we'll go back to streaming a lot more often.
Someday, Yoshi P, release me.
We did this new format with the explicit purpose of playing more variety of games and getting to stream more often, and then 14 is like, No. You sit
Fantasy 14 came and just grabbed me by the scruff of my neck and was like, "You're only playing one thing, you dumb bitch." And I'm like, "Okay, I guess so." So when I just can't look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, shame.
When 14 releases us from our clutches, we'll be streaming more stuff.
Yeah, Monkey Island. That'll be a fun thing to start with.
California governor accused of interfering to support Activision Blizzard in state discrimination lawsuit.
Wow, stunner that a Democrat would do this.
Say it with me now. I wasn't surprised. Were you surprised, thief?
No.
I'm surprised we can't see more bones.
I'm not even a little bit surprised. Gavin Newsom is a massive piece of shit, for one. California Democrats are some of the most blood-soaked people on the planet. They're all disgusting, vile creatures. Of course, Bobby Kotick has a friendly relationship with Newsom, and by that I mean he probably, put 11 billion shitzillion dollars in his fucking re-election fund as a means to grease those wheels. And
or because it's Bobby Kotick, he knows where the bodies are.
He knows where the bodies are buried. Yeah, I would not be surprised if Gavin Newsom has actually killed someone, allegedly.
As more and more comes out, it stops being a joke.
Oh, no.
That Bobby Kotick knows where the bodies are.
That's not a joke. That's just what happened.
Yeah. Quote from this Eurogamer article: as reported by Bloomberg, the Assistant Chief Counsel for California's Department of Fair Employment, Melanie Proctor, has quit her role in protest after California Governor Gavin Newsom, quote, abruptly fired, quote unquote, the agency's boss, Chief Counsel Janet Whipper. A representative for the two attorneys has since confirmed the firing and resignation to Bloomberg. So, wow. It keeps getting worse.
It just keeps getting worse. It's always going to be this way. I'm sorry. It sucks ass because, I'm not, like I said, I'm not even surprised. Newsom is a huge piece of shit. California politics are a huge piece of shit. It's yet another reason why people are like, you can just vote blue no matter who, and it's like, that doesn't change anything. It doesn't fix anything. You know, scumbags like Feinstein and Newsom are just as monstrous and disgusting as any, you know, deep red state Republican. They're all the fucking same. They're all
Sara,
in the hands of capital.
But Sara, they're polite.
They're nice about it. They're nice about it while taking money from literal monsters like Kodak, who have made bodily threats against people in order to keep them silent. Like, yeah, but they're nice about it, and that's really all that matters. You know, as long as you're polite about your psychopathy, who cares?
But Sara, they have a rainbow flag in their Twitter handle.
Yeah, maybe the bombs they drop on countries of significantly poorer people than ourselves will be dropped by a woman this time instead. You know? That's disgusting. I hate these fucking ghouls. I hate Gavin Newsom. I wish his recall effort had gone through. You know, it never ends. We live in hell, and we have to keep living in hell with monsters like this, because what other option do we have? You know, electoral politics is a dead game. It's a fool's game. You should be rooting for those unionization efforts in Starbucks and Amazon. That's way cooler. That
happened. That's not on the docket, but that happened. That's dope.
That's cool. Yeah, Amazon warehouse unionized, and the Starbucks keeps unionizing across the country. So far, every single Starbucks union vote has passed except for 2. So that's cool.
That's really dope.
Including the flagship store in Seattle where Starbucks was founded. That one unionized or voted to unionize. So
hell yeah.
You know, that's cool. You should pay more attention to that, because that's a much more useful way to spend your time than giving a shit about electoral politics.
Next, speaking of good news, guy buys NFT for 2.9 million, asks for 48 million, is offered $3,600.
I know Dan
reblog to kill him faster.
I know Dan Olson didn't kill NFTs, but Dan Olson killed NFTs. It's extremely king behavior. Today, the fucking Bored Ape Yacht Club got hacked, and all of that shit got stolen too. As Shia said in our Discord, all of this shit with fucking NFTs has just increased my faith in the banking system, really more than anything. You know, like
Sara, excuse me, those NFTs were not stolen. They were acquired legally.
Oh, that's true.
By rule of, you know.
How that works. Yeah, they were working within completely legal means. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the rules.
It's so funny.
Sorry. You know.
Yeah, if you want to play the decentralized currency game, then go right ahead. But you can't come crying to a centralized authority after you get your shit stolen to try and initiate a rollback and get your stuff back. I'm sorry, if you wanna go screw around in the Wild West, you shouldn't be surprised when someone sticks up your train.
Yeah.
You know?
They got him fair and square.
That's how it works.
If you didn't want them to take them, you shouldn't have put them up.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Sorry, who are you going to call? The cops?
What are the cops going to do? Nothing. It's great.
Oh, I'm sure you'll find these tokens quite fungible when you arrive.
It's extremely funny. I think NFT crimes are my favorite kind of crimes, because everybody involved in NFTs is just extremely stupid. And so when an NFT gets stolen, or stolen in finger quotes, basically what happens is the people who took them just ransom them, because you can't sell an NFT because they are functionally valueless, right? So, but the people who own the NFT need to pretend they have value, because that's how the grift works. So they can't just say like, well, that's money lost, because then they would be acknowledging that their NFT is functionally valueless. So they will pay the ransom.
Yeah.
So the guy who took the NFTs, is like gonna get paid for something that he did legally, essentially. Like, it rules.
You see these people, like, when their NFTs get stolen, they're like, everything's fine, I got my NFTs back, the system works, and it's like, you lost.
You lost.
You
Some
did
guy
lose this situation.
Yeah.
Because you paid the ransom.
You paid the ransom. Some guy did a social engineering, because the thing about like stealing NFTs is that like the people who are involved in NFTs also have like just an extremely low sense of social intelligence, and they fall for social engineering hacks like very, very easily. Anytime you hear that somebody had their NFT stolen, they fell for essentially somebody going into your Discord DMs and being like, hey, will you tell me your Steam password so I can give you this game?
Hello,
for you to test?
I'm Gabe Newell. Can I have your Steam password to give you Steam Bucks?
Yeah, that's exactly it. They are essentially falling for that scam, like baby's first scam. You don't. Extremely funny.
You don't understand. The Nigerian prince needs these apes.
The Nigerian prince these apes, then he'll send me back 20 apes in return. I'll get my investment back 100-fold. All I have to do is wire this Nigerian prince 240 Ethereum, and baby, we'll have it made after that.
Wire your apes to the Nigerian prince.
Yeah, send the Nigerian prince your apes via Western Union. It's fine.
There we go. There's the title card. Send your apes to the Nigerian prince.
Great. But yeah, no, it's funny. I love it when these freaks get taken for a ride. It's you wanted to do gambling shit. Here you go.
But yeah, and then also when they are sold traditionally, he only gets $3,600 after spending $2.9 million.
We missed that part. But that is also very funny because again, NFTs are dying. Reblog to kill them faster. It's great.
Next, Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes Mysterious Mercenary trailer. I don't like this design.
It's a very bad design. Like, that's the first thing to get out in the open, is that like this is a very, very bad design. It's extremely ugly. That's probably one of the ugliest shades of purple I've ever seen in my entire life. But like, this is just a very strange decision. I'm not mad about it, but it's very weird to like not to have had Three Houses be such a big hit. And I think part of the reason it was a big hit is that people projected very hard onto Byleth. And were like, it was just a glorified dating sim with that they stapled a tactics game onto as well.
Right.
So people were very invested in like their romantic relationships in the Three Houses game. I fell for that trap too. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I love huge blonde-haired, blue-eyed princes with brain problems. Don't worry about it. I'm sure that won't come up at the Endwalker episode at all. The point is, like, so people got, they're very attached to their Byleth. So it feels very strange to be like, you can play as Byleth in this this Fire Emblem Muso game, but like, no, not really. You're playing as this whole new character.
It is a bold choice to make what seems to be Byleth as the villain.
Yeah, I don't think Byleth will actually be the villain, though. I don't think they're gonna do anything that cool. I think they're gonna back out of that at the end.
I mean, Nero versus Dante.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
How fucking cool was that opening shot of DMC4?
Sure, yeah, exactly.
Dante shows up and shoots a guy, and then Nero fights him, and you're like, oh my god, I'm fighting Dante! Oh, ah! It's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
So I am slightly intrigued to see what this is about. It's very clearly an alternate universe. Like, they've confirmed that much.
Mm-hmm.
That it's a whole different, reinterpretation of Three Houses.
Mm-hmm.
I am interested to see what kind of changes they make. Like, will you be able to, because we talked about this last time where it's like, you have to do all of them or a very few of them.
Yes.
Because you can't do some of them, because someone's going to get mad if their favorite isn't playable.
Correct. So just do all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, really, just do all of them. It's fine.
You can share movesets between characters. It's fine.
It still sounds like they're doing routes. Like, I watched the trailer where they introduced that the new guy is the new main character. And the vibe I got from that trailer is that they're still doing the different houses, which I'm also kind of scratching my head over, because I thought this would be like, okay, this is the golden route, but I guess not.
I thought this would be like, okay, if Byleth is going to be quote unquote the villain, then they unite to fight Byleth. Right.
Yeah. And like, that's cool. I think that would be a cool way to do it, but it doesn't sound like that either.
It is interesting, because I can't remember for sure, but I think only female Byleth is in the trailer.
Yeah, female Byleth is canon Byleth now. So, girls stay winning.
That's cool.
That's cool. I'm hoping I don't know. I'm very curious to see how this all plays out. I think we talked about it in the Discord. The coolest possible option is that Byleth realized that they have to be the villain to like make everybody to get the golden ending. So with their whole being able to travel back in time thing,
right?
From Three Houses, they just did that, and now they're like being the villain to get the best possible ending. That would be cool. I hope they I hope they do that. They're not doing that. It would be too cool, frankly.
I don't know. We'll see. I need to see one more like gameplay and or story trailer.
Yeah.
To really form my true opinion, because this is Byleth is the bad guy. What does that mean?
Right.
And
it could just be something as simple as like Dante at the beginning of DMC4, like you said. Yeah.
It'll be cool. It'll be cool to fight Byleth.
That being said, they gotta make a switch. They gotta make a Switch HD. They gotta make a Switch 2 or a Switch Pro or something. Because boy,
I am not doing another Muso game on a handheld.
It looked bad. Just watching the trailer, like the actual battle stuff, you're just like, oh no. God. You're just flinching the whole time. It's really bad.
Yeah, you got to do something about this.
They've got to update that hardware soon, because this hardware's been out of date for 4 years.
Yeah,
and the Switch is like 5 years old.
It was out of date when the Switch came out. Let's be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Oh God! Next,
Streets of Rage movie in development with script from writer of John Wick. Okay, that's a good sentence.
I like that sentence. We'll see. Is it a Netflix movie?
Now the thing is, how many times have we gotten, movie is announced, and then it just doesn't come out?
Yeah, that happens all the time. That happens all of the fucking time.
Yeah, we finally did end up getting the Uncharted movie, and yes, we are getting the Last of Us TV series, but...
Yeah, the Uncharted movie that everybody forgot came out, myself included. Every time I'm reminded that the Uncharted movie, I mean, I'm sure it was bad, but it wasn't so bad to be, like, catastrophically noteworthy. It seemed to have just come out and then was instantly forgotten.
I saw a clip from it, and I watched that clip, and I thought, if this wasn't Uncharted, I would enjoy this more.
Sure.
Like, if this didn't have to be Uncharted, if it was just Tom Holland plays a treasure hunter and like explores a jungle area, I would be more interested in this.
Yeah, it's just weird that it's like an Uncharted movie, you know, when again Tom Holland is just cartoonishly mismatched or miscast for Nathan Drake.
I'm sorry. I know he's like 26 right now.
He looks like an infant.
But he just has, the reason he's Peter Parker is because he's always going to look 17 his entire life.
He's one of those guys. He's got a face where he just looks 17 forever. I'm sorry.
And he should embrace it and play those characters, but he should not play 35-year-old man Nathan Drake.
Yeah, it's very weird. Very weird.
The only way a Streets of Rage movie will work is if it's A, animated, because Streets of Rage 4 looks really, really cool. B, if it is a schlocky 80s throwback movie.
See, unfortunately, we don't live in that cool timeline, so neither of those things are going to happen, and it's just going to be like a gray mush with maybe, you know, like a couple of interesting sequences. So, like, sorry.
You look at the cast of Streets of Rage, and, you know, you've got a guy who wears a sleeveless denim jacket and a girl in a mini skirt and leather jacket, like black leather jacket, and you're like, are you going to make this game? Like, this movie?
They are not. They are not going to make the coolest movie in the entire world. They're going to make just like The Legend of Chun-Li.
God. I mean, if it's the writer for John Wick, it has the potential to be good, and this is almost
the potential to be good.
This is almost worse than like if we know it's going to be bad right away, because I don't want to have hope that it'll be good.
You should. I will tell you this right now. Don't have hope. Just don't.
Yeah.
It's
but
a video
Sonic
game.
was good, and this is a Sega game.
No.
But Sonic was good.
You poor fool. That Sonic was a fluke. It was the exception, not the rule.
Oh my god!
I'm here. Never hope.
This article's reminding me they're Amazon is trying to make a Disco Elysium series. I forgot about that.
Amazon bought the rights to Disco Elysium. They're not going to actually make a Disco Elysium series. That's not happening. 100%.
God.
Next.
I love Streets of Rage though.
I know.
Next. Aqua Teen Hunger Force returns in an all-new series of web shorts, Aqua Donk Side Pieces.
Jesus Christ.
Have you watched any of these?
No, I have not.
They're good. They're really good. They're all
good.
They're all villain-focused.
Oh, good. So we get more Mooninites.
Yeah, we get the Mooninites episode. We've gotten a Broodwitch episode. The Plutonians got an episode. MCP Pants got an episode.
It means I get to hear you and Saturn do your Moonanite impressions even more.
The MCP Pants one is the best because it's all about it's an instructional video of how to scam rich people out of their inheritance by pretending to be like long lost relatives.
I agree. You should do that. I endorse this. Thank you, MCP Pants.
God, Aqua Teen humor really is timeless because it's been like 11 years since it ended.
11 years, it never stopped being funny.
It's just always funny.
Damn it, go away, you freak. I'm sorry. It never stops getting old.
They did one of the reasons when they did was the robot chick in Cybernetic goes to Christmas Past from the future. And he has to go through a metal detector in the mall. So fucking stupid.
Oh god. Oh god.
I will never, ever get tired of Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
I've got to sit down and watch them. It has been so long since I watched Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Like, I couldn't even tell you when. I'm like an old woman now.
Aqua Teen is a lot like it's the lower key, like second tier of like Simpsons or SpongeBob, where everyone just has like one quote that's burned into their brains forever.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Yeah.
Like, there's an Aqua Teen line that everyone just like has carved into their brain.
Meatwad, how long you been in that dryer? Oh, he's only been in there for 2 weeks.
I always love when they're talking about the Moon Knights are talking about like the number of dimensions they have, and Frolics like, really? Well, I only see 2. Well, that sounds like a personal problem.
Now here's the question. Did Aqua Teen Hunger Force introduce the phrase, that sounds like a personal problem, into the cultural lexicon? Because I think they did.
I think they did. I think
Yeah.
I think in that context of the accusatory, that sounds like a personal problem.
Yeah, I think it came from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Which, for that reason alone, it belongs in, like, enshrined in the halls of Valhalla.
The fucking bit where they're smoking Moonawana. And it's just a bunch of tires that they lit on fire, and they put, like, a big glass dome over them.
Oh, God. Oh, fuck. I've got to rewatch Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
There's a bit, and this is really personal, but, like, I've been talking to my therapist about this because I talked about this during the Shadowbringers episode, where I've been dealing with a lot of anxiety about, like, death and, like, fear of the inevitable end, right?
Sure.
One of the tricks that we've gone over is, like, recontextualizing your anxiety thoughts as if someone else is saying it.
So you just imagine the Moonanites saying stupid shit in your head?
There's an episode of Aqua Teen where it's the one where they have the bet between Carl and Meatwad as to who can lose more weight.
Uh-huh.
Because Carl gets, like, these South Bronx Paradise bars that he eats, and it's South Bronx parasites. It's just this worm eating him from the inside. But, like, Meatwad is like power walking up and down the street, and he's like, Carl's like, what the hell are you doing? And he's like, I'm power walking. I gotta lose weight. And Carl says, why? You're just gonna die. So now when I had really bad anxiety about it, like, why am I doing this? Like, I'm just going to die one day. Like, there's no reason for me to pursue these, enjoyable things. I just think of Carl going, why? You're just gonna die.
Great.
I fucking love Aqua Teen so much.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Alright, what else?
Next, speaking of Aqua Teen.
Oh no.
Crusty PlayStation leads to bomb scare at Boston Airport.
Holy shit, I haven't heard this one. Ben, tell me a story.
First off, remember the bomb scare during the Boston?
Oh yes, of course I remember the fucking Boston bomb scare where it's just Adult Swim getting in trouble for putting up LED boards around Boston.
Of the fucking Moonanites.
Of the fucking Moonanites, Jesus Christ. Post 9/11 Bush America was a hellscape from which we're lucky to have survived.
So this article is from Kotaku, and here is a quote. Passengers at Boston's Logan International Airport were evacuated from a terminal on Saturday, and the local bomb squad called in after the TSA agents found a, quote, suspicious item inside a Delta passenger's bag that turned out to be a PlayStation. As the Hill reports, agents sounded the alarm after discovering a PlayStation, it's unclear which one specifically, in degraded condition. Not initially recognizing the device for what it was, the bomb squad was called in just after 4 p.m. local time, while every passenger from Terminal A was evacuated as a precaution.
That is so funny. Bro, clean your PlayStation.
Show us the PlayStation!
Yes, I need to see this fucked up PlayStation and, like, how disgusting it was.
There are no pictures in this article. There's no pictures in the source article. Show us! Fair. I need to see how bad this PlayStation looks.
So they say crusty, but what I'm thinking instead, because they say degraded condition, is like some dude's PS2 that, like, or maybe PlayStation 3 if you're a freak, that, like, is barely holding together and has been, like, duct taped to shit. Because, like, maybe he tried to hack it and he fucked it up, but he's still traveling with it for some godforsaken reason.
Right.
So, like, I need to see this PlayStation. I need to know how fucked up this PlayStation is.
I can only think of some yellowed from smoking in the house.
Oh, yeah.
PS1 with the lid duct tape closed.
Yeah.
Because it has one of those, like, mod chips in it, and he fucked up soldering it, so now the lid doesn't close properly.
Yeah, the spring's all fucked up.
Yeah. And it's just, like, wrapped to shit in duct tape and, like, permanent marker that says, like, Tommy's on it.
It smells like cigarettes and weed. It probably has roaches in it. God help you if your bag was next to his.
Yeah. But, like, show us the PlayStation.
I need to know. I need to know how fucked up this PlayStation was.
It's not like no one doesn't know what a PlayStation looks like.
I mean, some people don't know what PlayStations look like. I mean, if I took all the labels off and put a PlayStation in front of my mother, she wouldn't know what it is. No way.
But I mean, like,
no way.
You should still be able to recognize it as like video game device.
I don't know, man. Some people wouldn't.
Or like, or in the terms
clearly somebody mistook it for a bomb.
Or at least in terms of like the PS2, PS3, PS4, like DVD player. You know?
Sure, maybe.
But God.
But like, then again, I don't know if it's like a PS3, like the old George Foreman model PS3. It doesn't even look like a DVD player. It could look like a bomb. You know?
I don't know. I have to know. I have to know what it looks like.
I need to know what this fucked up PlayStation looked like, please.
How dare you?
If somebody out there on the internet has pictures of the fucked up bomb PlayStation, you have to send them to us on Twitter.
How dare you not put pictures of it in the article? How dare you deprive us of this?
Probably in some fucking evidence locker now, and Tommy's missing his nasty ass PlayStation. He can't play his he can't play his fucking pirated versions of Spyro 2 anymore.
Yeah, he can't play the burned copies of like weird Japanese games that were never translated or brought over. God.
Some guy really, really is pissed off because he can't play Tokimeki Memorial anymore. He's got to get a new hacked PlayStation.
I'm just picturing the PS1 or PS2 with the translucent memory cards.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
those third-party memory cards.
It was like a fucked up PS1, like the little one.
That's what
PSX.
I have to imagine it was. Oh god, it could have been a PSX with like the monitor built in.
No, the PSX is the original PlayStation.
Oh, yeah.
Like the little PlayStation 1 mini thing. Like the PS1 Slim is what I'm thinking of.
Maybe. God, I don't know. They didn't take any pictures of it. I'm so mad.
Journalistic malpractice. How dare you report on this and not show me a picture of the fucked up PlayStation?
How dare you not write an article about a PlayStation that's so disfigured beyond recognition?
Taken for a bomb.
And you're not like, here's a picture of it.
It's still in fucking FBI, like an evidence locker somewhere. It's like, please release pictures of the bomb PlayStation. I need to know. Oh god.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3 release date revealed. They moved it up.
That never happens.
Has this ever? Have you ever heard of this happening?
No, I don't think I've ever heard of a game getting moved forward. Now, this is a weird case because we've known for a while that Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was basically done. And they were just like looking for a window to release it in. Like it's been almost done for a while now. So,
yeah. And I think something is coming out at the same time. Something else is coming out.
I'm not sure.
And they don't want Xenoblade to step on it, or they don't want it to step on Xenoblade.
I also think this is a case of Monolith Soft is the backup studio for Breath of the Wild to help with open world stuff. Like they are Nintendo's go-to open world studio to help them put that, because like they did a lot of support work on the OG Breath of the Wild. I would not be surprised if this got pushed out the door maybe a little too early. I'm a little worried. It got pushed out the door a little early so that Monolith Soft can get back to work on helping them get Breath of the Wild 2 done, because it's clearly having problems. So
I mean, I hope
for the best.
When people play Xenoblade Chronicles 3, they're not like, oh, this is unfinished. Because this... I mean, they have... I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and saying they have to be confident, right?
Sure.
Because games get pushed out early. It's happened tons of times before, right?
Yeah, of course. But they never announce that they're going to cut a month off the release date. Yeah, like Sonic 06... got pushed out before it was ready, but they planned to release it at that date. They just didn't delay it, you know? Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, it could just be done, and they're just moving it forward to make way for something else in the release window.
I mean, I guess, you know, in the era of patches, you can afford to maybe push something out ahead of time.
Yeah, scooch it forward, and then if there's any like unfinished elements, you just patch it later.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It's weird.
It's weird. I've never heard this happen before.
I feel like it has happened one other time, but I cannot remember what.
Oh, I have no idea.
Still, I mean, good for Xenoblade fans.
Good for Xenoblade fans. Yeah, you get the game like a month and a half earlier, I think.
Yeah. World of Warcraft's latest expansion lets players fly using dragon riding. I want to play Heaven's Word.
The dragon girl they told you not to worry about, and it's the fucking dragons from World of Warcraft versus the Aura from Final Fantasy XIV.
Sara, I want to play Heaven's Word.
We have Heaven's Word at home.
Heaven's Word at home.
Heaven's Word at home is just this fucking shit. They look so bad. World of Warcraft's art style is so ugly.
I'm not saying World of Warcraft is ripping off Final Fantasy XIV.
Right.
What I'm saying is that both games now have dragon people, and it's very clear that FF14s are better looking.
FF14 has significantly better dragon people, which is funny because I think honestly, like sometimes the dragon people designs in Final Fantasy XIV don't really do anything for me. There is some dude aura in Final Fantasy XIV who just look fucked up, like they got put through a fucking like they were in a Monster Factory episode,
right?
But like they still look better than these. These just look like the fucking blood elves, but with scale textures put on them and some horns. They look extremely bad.
This is this reveal is one of those things where it's one of those sensations where like I knew this, but I didn't fully conceptualize it. Which is, damn, Warcraft ugly.
Oh yeah, Warcraft been ugly for a while now.
It's one of those things where like I always knew that. But this is like, oh, I realize it now. I fully grasped.
Really internalized it until now.
I fully grasped that. Yes, I think Warcraft is an ugly-looking video game series.
Extremely ugly video game.
None of these characters are appealing in any way.
Apparently the really fucked up thing is that apparently you can't, like, the new dragon species get their own exclusive class.
Oh, that's
like saying good. You can't be a paladin unless you play a Hur in Final Fantasy XIV.
Yeah.
That apparently only dragons can be whatever new class is coming out with this new expansion, which is insane to me.
And I know they're very different games. Like, you've heard of people immigrating from WoW to 14 and, like, having to be told repeatedly stop moving around when they're playing tank.
Yeah,
or like when they play healers, like, no, you have to do DPS when you're not healing.
Or, you know, being told don't be such assholes when they come to Final Fantasy XIV.
But yeah, like,
that still sounds really fucked up to me. Yeah,
classes locked behind species just sounds not fun.
It sounds poorly considered, but I mean, I don't know anything. This is the first MMO I've ever played in my life.
Yeah, I mean, I also think it's kind of bullshit that, like, there is an alliance versus horde thing in WoW, you know? Like, you can't, if you pick alliance and your friends are horde, you can't play together.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, like,
they got rid of that, though.
Well, they did in, like, raids and PvP. I'm talking about, like, just basic questing.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't sound like it's for me.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Still, it's just funny that, like, we're seeing dragon people and it's like immediately everyone grok to, oh my god, like the Aura.
You mean, yeah, like the Aura? Like, you mean that, like, that other MMORPG that's eating your lunch right now?
Yeah, that's absolutely destroying you.
That's everywhere and everybody loves it unconditionally, basically.
That the reason you had to make raiding Alliance and Horde friendly is because you didn't have players playing Alliance?
Yeah. Like, nobody wanted to play your game. You don't have enough people in the world compared to Final Fantasy XIV. Yeah, it's fucked up. It rules. Fuck Blizzard. I think this kicks ass.
Yeah, it's great. It's not gonna help.
Oh, it's not going to help. No, they're completely creatively bankrupt. Yeah, 100%. This is not going to help. It honestly just makes them look worse because all of the memes coming out just making fun of how derivative this new shit sounds compared to 14, you know?
Next, No More Heroes 3 coming to PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, and PC this fall.
Finally, a version of No More Heroes 3 that people can play.
Yeah!
That won't run like dog shit. Hooray!
I'm probably gonna have to double dip because I didn't know this was coming out, and I bought it on Switch.
But the problem here is, so No More Heroes 1 is on PC, right?
Are
1 and 2 on PC?
I know they got ported to Switch.
Yeah.
Let me check.
But are they on, because like I don't have a Switch.
It's on Steam, yes.
Played...
No More Heroes 1 is on Steam. Is No More Heroes 2 on Steam?
Of course No More Heroes 2 wouldn't be on Steam. That's exactly the kind of luck I've come to expect.
No More Heroes 2 is on Steam.
Oh, thank God. Okay, good. Now I can actually play No More Heroes. I'm not going to play them on a fucking Nintendo's console.
Is it...
Hmm?
Is No More Heroes 1 the PS3 remaster, or is it the Wii port is the question. Oh, I think this is just the Wii port. No, this is the PS3 version.
Oh, okay.
I can tell by the shading. It's a little bit better in the PS3 version. Is that
good or bad?
That's good, because it's got better lighting and shading. And I think it probably has the bonus bosses in it.
Oh, good. Does it? Okay, then even more reason to care.
Yeah, they're basically, the PS3 version and the Wii version are basically the exact same. Except the lighting is better on the PS3 version.
Okay, good.
Also, obviously, it doesn't have the motion controls in the PS3 version.
Even better then.
Yeah.
But no, I'm glad that No More Heroes 3 is getting released on a system that will be able to run it.
Yes.
That's the important part. It can actually run on something now.
Absolutely. Next. Netflix animation erased. Executives fired, showed cancels, and accusations of staged data.
Yeah.
Did you see that picture of their stock?
Yeah, it's very funny. It's just right off a cliff. It dropped by 35% after they announced they had lost a bunch of subscribers and that they anticipated losing more.
Someone commented like it feels like an image from a cartoon.
Yeah, just like pew, the way it immediately drops right off, like seconds later. Yeah, and it's gonna keep dropping. This is, especially with this whole password crackdown thing. It's just, when you do shit like that and you cancel the shows that people actually give a shit about, but you renew Big Mouth for a fucking 7th season. You know what that does? It makes people realize that QBitTorrent is a pretty good service.
Hey, Sara, what would you rather watch? A finally produced cartoon adaptation of Jeff Smith's Bone? Or season 7 of Big Mouth?
I gotta think about this one. No, I don't. Give me the fucking Bone. I feel really bad for Jeff Smith, too, because, like, he's clearly been jerked around a lot over the years.
Did you see his comic he put on Twitter?
Yes.
God!
It's just like, oh, buddy. Oh,
and someone like drew a picture of like Roger Rabbit like comforting Phone Bone, and Jeff Smith is like, "No, I'm not sad. I'm just tired.
I'm just tired." Yeah, because like Jeff Smith, Bone has been one of those comics that it's like, a Bone's getting an adaptation 100 times.
This is the 3rd time.
Yeah, it's really tragic.
He did it with Warner Brothers, with Netflix, and with something else, with like a other company way earlier, where it's just like, this is a grand slam. Studios should be tripping over themselves
to adapt Bone. Yeah, but that they just keep in there. But no, we'll make season 7 of Big Mouth. Absolutely.
It is one of the most iconic and best written fantasy comics ever. You should be chomping at the bit to throw your money behind this. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but no, we're gonna make another season of Bone instead.
Or Big Mouth, you mean?
Oh yeah, of Big Mouth. I wish it was another season of Bone, but yeah.
God, holy shit! How do you drop the ball this hard?
I mean, it's just this whole idea of eternal growth is totally a thing that is normal and possible to want and achieve. When it is certifiably not. You can't keep growing subscribers forever. There are a finite number of people in the world. So all of this cracking down on password sharing and expecting to just keep the number to just keep going up forever is it all just leads to the same place of Netflix crashing and burning and piracy coming back. So I guess it's a good thing. I suppose it is a cool thing instead that media piracy is back on the rise, certifiably back on the rise.
Yeah.
With the fractalization of streaming services, where once everything was centralized and you paid a small amount of money to have no commercials. Netflix is also floating the idea of commercials.
Yep, they are doing that,
and they're raising the price. They're raising the price to $20 a month.
So the number is just going to keep going down.
The number of people watching is just going to keep going down, And piracy is nowhere near the way it used to be, but as this keeps going, I keep seeing more and more guides to teaching young people how to pirate their shit. Just
Just that picture from The Simpsons, so you've decided to steal cable.
Yeah, exactly.
Myth, stealing cable is wrong. Fact, corporations are faceless entities, so stealing is morally correct.
It is always morally correct to pirate your media at this point. It is a victimless crime. Please continue to do so. The Gorge does not endorse the extremely cool crime of piracy.
No, this time we do.
Actually, we
steal.
do. I'm lying to you. Steal, yes.
I saw someone comment on this, but the real nightmare about Netflix inevitably going down is that even if it does, there are tons of shows that are just gone forever because they never got physical media releases.
Yeah, because they're Netflix originals. Yeah, they'll just be gone forever unless they exist on a pirate server somewhere. Like
She-Ra, Cuphead, gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Forever.
Hilariously, this means that the Cowboy Bebop live action show will become lost media, which I think is very funny. So maybe we should let that happen. Even if we lose She-Ra out of the deal, maybe that's okay.
So what's going to happen is that somewhere in the distant future, when space travel is made possible, two bounty hunters are going to have to find a hard drive with that has ripped MP4s of the Cowboy Bebop live action series.
Yeah, absolutely. Just digging around for it. Yeah. Oh god.
They're gonna have to get it played on an old Windows 8 laptop.
What's a solid state? Oh god. All right, how much we got left?
We have one more because I don't want to end on a sour note.
Okay, let's do it.
TMNT Shredder's Revenge. It's release window, new gameplay. They also got all of, or as many of the 80s voice actors they could.
Yeah, that's nice. I know that a couple of them have passed away, Shredder's OG voice actor is unfortunately passed on. But yeah, no, I think this is but unfortunately they've gotten a bunch of other people back. I think this is a very fun little detail to just bring back the old 80s voice actors. Yeah. That's cute.
This is one of those things where there's so much nostalgia, 80s nostalgia wrapped up in this. And obviously it's Ninja Turtles, that's the name of the game. Mm-hmm. You don't really get them bringing back the original cast that often, Yeah. Usually it's here's the aesthetic, or it's very similar or whatever. Mm-hmm. But it's been a while since they've actually gotten to play their characters, Yeah,
absolutely.
I think the last time is they did in the 2012 show. They did a crossover episode where they brought back as many as they could.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is funny because Rob Paulsen used to play Raphael in the 80s cartoon, and then in the 2012 he plays Donatello.
Rob Paulsen just do anything. I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know, really, really cool. And the gameplay, it's 11 minutes of gameplay, and it looks sick.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like an actually rock solid beat 'em up game. Super attacks, combos, great animation.
Mm-hmm.
Very fun. Very excited to play this.
Yeah, no, I'm glad. It's a very funny like compilation of games to have coming out, but like, yeah. No, this isn't the compilation.
No,
this is the new beat 'em up.
This is the new beat 'em up, Shredder's Revenge.
Yeah. I was thinking, that one that's coming out.
The one that's just like every Ninja Turtles game ever.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I forgot those are two different things.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, no. I'm glad that this game looks as good as it does. It comes back to just being like the old arcade game, essentially.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that is it.
We did it.
There was a lot to do this time, and obviously there was one very big article.
There's one very big announcement to talk about that we had to get it out of our system, otherwise Ben would die.
Yeah, I was seriously like, I wanted to be like, can we do the wrap up like a week earlier, and we'll do Shadowbringers later?
We could have done Shadowbringers later. It would have been fine.
Like, I really, really want to talk about Kingdom Hearts 4.
Well, here we go. We got it out of our system. Kingdom Hearts 4 is real.
Yeah.
Please look forward to more information at some point in the distant future.
I've watched that trailer like once a day.
I'm sure you have. I'm sure you listened to it and have it memorized.
Got it memorized.
Oh, I walked right into that one, didn't I?
By the way, speaking of terrible voice actors, very nice of Nomura to give James Woods a job again. Because I'm pretty sure
nobody else works with James Woods, yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure KH3 was the last time he got a job.
Yeah, well, that's because he's a psychopath.
Yeah. So
maybe get a James Woods sound-alike next time.
Now is your chance to replace Quentin Flynn and replace James Woods.
Yeah, we're sick of both of them.
Yeah.
The Final Fantasy VII remake dodged the Quentin Flynn bullet.
Mm-hmm.
So now is the perfect time. Just get that Reno from the Final Fantasy VII remake to play Axel in Kingdom Hearts 4. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It'll be fine.
Okay.
All right, that'll do it for us. Thank you to Broke for Free for use of background music. You can follow me on Twitter at thegorgepodcast. You can follow Sara at radioinactivity. You can email us at thegorgepodcast@gmail.com. Again, patreon.com/thegorge, and also join our Discord if you haven't. It's fun. We have fun there. If you're not going to be on Twitter, join our Discord instead.
We play a lot of Final Fantasy 14 together. So, if you have a Final Fantasy 14 account and you want to come join our fucking free company, I think we still have a lot of rooms in the
plenty.
house.
We have plenty of rooms in the house if you want to get in on that. If you couldn't get a house in the lottery because the lottery broke.
We didn't talk about that. It's fine. They're fixing it. Don't worry about it.
Join our Discord and you can just get a room because we have plenty available.
Yeah, it's great.
Sarah, tell us about your other podcast.
I am in another podcast called Big Gay Nerds, where me and a bunch of cool queer friends get together when we play tabletop games. We play different systems for different stories. Right now, we're playing Masks, A New Generation, a game where you play as young superheroes trying to make their way in the world. It's probably our favorite game that we play. It's really, really good because the cast of characters has a lot of good charisma, and we have a lot of fun with it, and they're all, it's a very messy, like, kind of romantic situation going on with everyone. I love it. So come check us out. We're Big Gay Nerds wherever you find your podcasts. We're everywhere, so enjoy that.
All right, that'll do it for us. Fuck Big Mouth.
Fuck Big Mouth.
Are you really been like, no, not Bone, Big Mouth though?
Big Mouth. What sucks is that apparently it sucks ass because like Big Mouth is awful. It's ugly. Mm-hmm. It's tacky. It's just grotesque.
I don't even want to say it's offensive.
It's just ugly. Not. It's not even offensive because at least if it was offensive, it's just like, stupid raunchy humor.
Yeah.
That I hate. And I mean, the character designs are some of the most hideous fucking things I've ever seen in the entire, American animation industry. An industry rife with hideous designs. And yet, despite all of that, apparently the Big Mouth studio treats all of their animators extremely well. Like, the pay is really good, and the working hours are really good.
That's not fair.
No.
How are you gonna make me grapple with certain studios and me enjoying their product, like Nintendo, which I didn't put it on the document. That was a thing.
That was a thing. Nintendo's doing union busting. Of course
union busting. Like, I didn't put that on here, but like, you're gonna make me grapple with that. You're gonna make me struggle with, like, you know, Disney and Square Enix and Nintendo, and make me like feel twisted about enjoying these products outside of their working editions. And you're gonna be like, no, Big Mouth staff is really nice though.
Yeah, Big Mouth is really, like, that whole staff just has it really good. Yeah, apparently, I'm sorry, man, I hate to tell you, but apparently it's a great place to work.
Not that I want animators to suffer.
No.
You know, not at all.
But it's also like, of course, the show that I hate, the one that I want dead, is the one that's like, yeah, we pay our animators really good, and their working hours are extremely equitable, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, great. So I can't even root for your cancellation. Yeah. It's like, fine, I guess we can have Big Mouth, but can we please exist in a world where Big Mouth and Bone both exist?
Right?
Is that so wrong?
God damn it. That's so annoying.
No, it sucks ass. I'm sorry. I had to tell you that though before we were done for the night, because like everything I see on Twitter is like, yeah, Big Mouth treats their animators really well. It's like, fuck. All right, well, I guess you get to live. Shit.
It's just me slowly lowering the gun. Just get out of here.
Leave. Don't ever let me see you again.
Before I change my mind.
I gotta go to God and be like, can I take back all those prayers about canceling Big Mouth, please? Lord, are you listening? Oh, God. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.